This is Smithy.tv.
Attempt to. Hey guys, the Lindsay Lewis.
At Kevin Aaron.
And I'm new.
Our new tag team partner, Neil McIntosh.
Yeah, it's a three-man tag.
It's a Teddy Long dream.
Yeah, there's an opening Smackdown special.
Holla, holla, holla.
Playa.
We might challenge either a three-man band if they were still together, but now the New Day.
We got, New Day. We got,
Can you clap your hands?
Oh.
Gotta clap.
I still miss Kofi's. Do you guys miss Kofi's, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom?
Yeah, that was a good one.
So Neil, we like to, when we started the show, we kind of gave people an idea of us, like what we liked in wrestling. Tell me your favorite WWE or WCW superstar of all time.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with, my 8-year-old self is going Bret Hart, and I can't. So I would have to go, weird choice, Kurt Angle.
That's not a weird choice.
Yeah.
Awesome technical wrestler, and then just his comedic
Highly
stuff.
underrated.
You know what was really funny when he got that DUI? That was hilarious. No, sorry, jokes aside, did something like... I'm sorry, jokes aside.
Now we're going with the negative.
No, jokes aside.
Heel turn.
That happens on the show. No, yeah. I want to ask you, does something like that make you, like...
Nobody's perfect. The guy went and got some treatment. He's had a rough life. You know, going through all that thing down at Foxcatcher. Dave Schultz was his old coach. And then breaking your neck and competing at the Olympics and going a little cuckoo there.
Yeah,
winning.
A gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
For you, America.
Freaking neck.
For you.
Plus, the man does play a mean guitar with the world's tiniest cowboy hat.
And now you're finding out why we have Neil on the show. Yeah. I didn't know these facts. Even I was like, what is he talking? This is true.
Yeah. This is very true.
And also, he was in a great movie called Warrior.
And Pain and Gain, which I realized he was just in the other day. I watched that movie, had no idea who was in it. And
Good
then
little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, I like to ask, I'd like to pick a bigger name. Mm-hmm. Who's your least favorite superstar?
Least favorite superstar. That's a tough
and
one.
It doesn't.
There are many.
It can be different reasons, or it could be like mine was Kevin Nash because I picked someone on the biggest level who I thought for the level of showcase they got, was it worth it?
I picked an entire tag team.
And you still pick them to this day. It was so crazy.
And funny, there was a guy who was huge, and I just didn't get it. I still don't get it. Jeff Jarrett.
Oh.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
Double J, double E, double F. Jeff Jarrett.
His character.
The guy who lost the IC title to China.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I hated his old gimmick where he had like the feathered hair and like the weird glowing.
I love
three
the
straps.
strips.
Yeah, the 3 straps.
I mean, he wasn't so bad when he had his whole storyline with Owen Hart and stuff like that.
That was okay.
I enjoyed his...
But that was mostly Owen.
Yeah, it was
mostly Owen.
I liked his later WWE stuff. And he had a couple good TNA matches around the beginning of TNA. But he sort of became like a Hogan Bischoff kind of...
I thought when he did Slapnut in WCW, it was, but yeah, all around I have to say because you picked the Usos and I picked Kevin Nash, but you and I have a similar thing where these are guys who had a lot of showcase, like a solo career, and
he was a TNA World Champion. That means something.
That means something to some people.
And he was an IC champion. He was, I think, he was European champion too, right?
And he lost to China. She's doing wonderful right now. Have you guys seen the videos of her the last few weeks?
She's
people are
fantastic.
People are legit worried about her.
No, but she's in China teaching English. She's doing great.
Seriously,
she's doing phenomenal. She's having the best time as just Joni Lauer.
Okay, because the video I saw recently was her like a week or two ago. She was a point where you were worried this could be someone very suicidal and stuff like that.
Interesting, because I saw her on I think it was Jim Cornette's podcast, and she seemed very coherent. Yeah. Just seemed in a good place.
Okay, it was someone definitely not sober, and it was scary looking. I hope that's true. That's awesome.
I know she went through a rough patch with the whole porn business a couple years back, but I think she's mostly put that all behind her. No pun intended.
Backdoor to China references.
Okay, and so we do have a longer audio podcast, and so next week when we do talk to you, I'm going to get into some favorite matches, least favorite matches. But before we do, we get into the pay-per-view coming up. Let's ask you favorite theme song of all time for you.
Favorite theme song? That's got to be Shane McMahon's.
Here comes the money.
It just gives you that little shiver down your spine when you hear ting ting and watch him doing his little
his
little
like.
I don't even know how he does it. Like I just I don't know.
Yeah, it's like he's got 5 joints in his elbow.
Or he's doing like kind of like a sparkler.
It's like he's writing his name or like dollar signs with a sparkler.
Maybe that's what he is doing.
And funny enough, Shane is involved in my favorite match of all time, and we'll get to that next time.
So something to look forward to. Something maybe or maybe not to look forward to is actually what we're here to talk about today, is the next WWE pay-per-view. What are they called now? Monthly events or something? They tried for a while.
They're WWE pay-per-view events, although you're just paying your $9.99 for the WWE.
Unless you're a new subscriber and you get it for free, even though the people paying have to still pay. Interesting strategy. But yeah, the newest WWE pay-per-view following WrestleMania, Extreme Rules. How are you guys feeling about this one?
I am so filled with excitement.
It's extremely exciting.
Yeah, man. Not since that disappointing WrestleMania have I been this excited for a pay-per-view. So.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I thought you'd be extremely excited.
Oh, I am extremely looking forward to having an early Sunday.
Yeah.
So
WrestleMania. Extreme Rules.
We don't even know what it is.
It's a weird, before we're doing the show, we actually we're trying to set up this show every time we do it, and we're like, oh yeah, it's this weekend. The build hasn't been all that great. In fact,
I couldn't name a match this morning.
In fact, I wrote them on this napkin here.
I actually came in this afternoon, and I had it in my head that we were just going to talk and just
randomly
just kind of riff about all kinds of different wrestling things. I was going to ask you a couple questions. Then Lindsay's like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about the pay-per-view this weekend.
You're like, what?
It's this weekend.
Oh yeah, there's matches. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so about 20 minutes before the audio podcast, I had no idea that Extreme Rules was this weekend. So that's just a little fun Easter egg for you.
Let's try something before we get to the matches and all that. Is Extreme Rules a thing that is fitting into a PG WWE?
It's funny you should say that, because if you listen to our audio podcast, Kevin asked me the exact same question.
I did.
So apparently it's on your guys' mind today, so let's talk about that. PG WWE Era right now, and the pay-per-view is called Extreme Rules. I think when it's the rare person like Brock Lesnar, they allow stuff to happen, but in stuff like this, they'll allow maybe in the Cena match or even Roman, because those are their big guys. But it's gonna even especially some of the matches that we will get into, their extremists are still PG or PG-13 and tomfoolery more so. You know?
And am I the only one that wishes Paige and Nikki Bella was a Divas TLC?
I've never seen that. I don't think we've ever seen that match. Right?
I don't think it's ever happened.
It's going to take a few years until they really get 4 divas that they can maybe put in a fatal 4-way. And
and I honestly, I'm trying to think if I've even seen a Divas
I saw a cage
ladder
match. I've seen a Divas cage match with
Yeah.
Lita back in the day.
Yeah.
I think what I think would be cool. Maybe at TLC this year they do a ladder match for a fatal 4-way ladder match.
That'd be pretty cool.
Because they need to set the bar. They can't just do TLC right away. So I think they need to see. Let's see who we got. We can do. We will. I guess let's talk about the Divas match quickly firstly, because
give Divas a chance.
They're still trying. There's still a chance to be had. No, but so right now the number one contender is Paige. She's facing Nikki Bella, but Paige was actually attacked, and coincidentally, she's also shooting a movie with Mike the Miz Mizanin. So will she make it?
Maurice must be worried.
Stay away. No, but do you think she even makes it to Extreme Rules, or do you think that Naomi beats her up tonight on Raw?
That could possibly happen, because writing is that bad these days.
It's very true. Yeah, they may even just have her go back to her home planet. You never know. Of her home
she might
planet
scream her way out.
No, but my prediction is that Nikki retains, and as a direct result of Naomi coming in and either causing a DQ
and writing off Paige,
and just sending her to off on an ambulance.
She got so injured that she forgot she's a wrestler and she became an actress. With Mike the Miz.
And am I the only one who's still remembering that there was a whole feud going on between the Bellas? Did that just disappear completely?
You know what's going to happen? A year from now, it'll be like, I didn't forget. That's all you have to say. I didn't forget. You're like, what? You were playing the long con.
Oh,
that is the
slow burn.
longest, and it fits with their acting.
Yeah.
I will say this, like, Nikki has improved like in-ring ability, and out of the two, she's the better actress. So I think she's the right person to be the heel champion.
Agreed.
Brie, I respect that she's trying, but her acting is so bad that it's hard to even want her to be on the screen.
I'm just glad that her with Nikki means that her theme song is retired.
You do that is worst theme. You would probably say Brie mode, right?
Theme.
Brie mode? Yeah.
Oh, that shrill, just Brie mode. I can't even do it. That's just.
Yeah, it was kind of a failed experiment, I think, on their part, because they still and this is what made me laugh, because they had their feud, they separated, they had separate themes, yet they still shared a Twitter account.
Yeah,
which they both
like even Cody Rhodes, like when he came at Stardust account, you know.
Yeah. So
and they've got split Instagram, so there is a divide amongst the Bellas.
Oh man.
Well, one of them's married, one's still like, you know, sort of not married. Like,
Or you never know. Next season on Total Divas.
Yeah, that's
because it doesn't happen unless it's on Total Divas on the E Network. So yes, we're opening the show. We were talking about the Divas match. None of us see Nikki.
Are you guys gonna have your predictions for the Divas match?
If it even fully happens, like I was talking to Kevin outside of this, they may even do a Fatal 4-Way random match if Paige even makes it, or they'll do what Kevin just said now, where they'll have the match and Naomi will cost it, and Paige will be written out so she can go make a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Or Triple H's new Teddy Long move, it's let's have a battle royal with it.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll do 2 battle royals, Diva ones, in 2 weeks.
You never know. Operation Full Redundancy is in effect. That is
weekly.
the motto of the pay-per-view.
It actually is, because a lot of these matches you've basically seen for free. And speaking of, you know what? I'm going to go talk to one of the bigger matches right now. Let's jump ahead to the last man standing match. Roman Reigns with Big Show. The reason I bring this match up now is what you just said is Big Show won at WrestleMania. Yep. He won and Roman lost. And so obviously you want to make Roman look big. But they had a match a few weeks ago on Raw and Roman pinned him cleanly. Yeah. Why do we need to have this match now on pay-per-view?
Oh, because there's a stipulation and
it's extreme
stuff.
It's very extreme.
Because now it's last man standing, and it's going to be Roman Reigns.
Hey, Big Show can stand with the best of them.
Yeah, it's going to be like we were saying in the audio podcast. It's going to be a lot of 9 counts. It's going to be a lot of.
No, it is for 20 minutes. It's going to be 9 counts. So Big Show knocks him out. 9 count.
Yeah,
I can see a lot of rope holding, a lot of holding onto the railing.
There's going to be somebody's going to get hit in the face with a stair.
I'm calling forklift. I'm calling it right now. Forklift will appear.
Is that going to finish Big Show off, you think? Where he holds him down? Because we were actually talking about this
It might end up finishing Roman.
We were calling shenanigans, but we were calling shenanigans on Big Show losing.
You never know. They might try to make Roman have to overcome the odds for the next one.
Yeah, but I mean...
They might actually build a story.
This feud needs to end is all I think.
Yeah,
it really
should.
It should never have happened.
It shouldn't have happened.
In terms of pay-per-views, Big Show is basically a giant jobber. You know,
and he already lost on Raw, so like, what is it? Kind of like you can't just have him lose on Raw, and then you're like, well, he won on. Yeah. No one cares.
It's too bad though. He does have talent. One, he pushes himself.
His thing, I think, is his strong suit is the fact that he will do anything, and I think that was evident when he wore a diaper and was
he's
the
kissed
New Year's
McMahon's
baby.
ass. He's done everything.
So he's a great company man. He will do whatever is asked of him, but I think that is used to his detriment at points. Yeah. Where he won't question it. He'll just go and
he's a good company man, and like he's a good big man. It's just like when people like Kane and him lose so often, and Mark Henry, when they return and they win against a jobber and then they lose again, it has no meaning anymore, I think.
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't matter. They could be as big as they want, but if they're jobbing to like Roman Reigns or even like Ziggler, and like it makes it a moot point. Like, why do we care about the fact that these people are large and like obviously,
Because like I was telling you guys, Big Show won at WrestleMania, so you kind of give him momentum. 2 weeks later, he loses cleanly to Roman, deflates all that.
Yeah, it's like it didn't happen. Yeah,
this is where the return of the actual jobber needs to happen, because you can build these guys. Mm-hmm. And have them be relevant. Oh, this guy beat Cody Montana from Tallulah, Mississippi.
Yeah.
He beat 10 of these guys. He's on a roll.
The Ryback way, when they were starting Ryback up. Yeah.
Well, and it was brilliant. because you weren't killing off other superstars, and you were building up this guy who beat up like 4 guys at once.
But they had 3 hours to fill, so I can't see them using that logic.
Well, I mean, and on like a weekly basis, I mean, my understanding is they have a ton of local talent that are trying to come in.
Do you watch Smackdown? Sorry, we're having 3 different conversations right now. Sorry, that's my proof of how excited we are about Extreme Rules. We're like kind of talking like, is Smackdown a watch show? I don't know.
I don't, and the reason is because it's a Raw recap show. And if they, which was another thing I was going to eventually mention on this podcast, do you think a brand split is going to be a viable option for them to have SmackDown be a watchable show?
Yes. Yes, pure and simple. That's the only way that people can pay attention, is if they're not going to already see the storyline on Raw, and that they're going to have their own identity. Otherwise, SmackDown is just Raw light.
But here's the thing, and they sort of proved at this point this year when they changed the Thursday nights, or in Canada Wednesday, or like now, but it's switching back and forth. But for a week or two, they had some big matches. When it changes to USA Network, for the first month or so, they're going to do bigger stuff. But then they're going to go back, and I think they eventually are going to do sort of a, not a split, but it's going to be more the NXT or the younger guys who are like the Tyson Kids and all that. They're going to do stuff, and they'll have like the US champ.
Tyson's not that young anymore.
No, he's not, but you know what I mean? Like for regular fans who don't watch any NXTs or stuff like that.
Yeah, although Kid is amazing. He is one of the best workers in the entire
He might even have a match on Extreme Rules. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Probably going to have a tag team match against the Los Matadors or one half of the Usos or New Day or Ascension.
Shout out to Primo Coloma.
Oh, yeah.
No thanks. But yeah,
which one is he? One of the
Isn't he the luchador?
He's one of the Matadors.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
It's Primo and Epico.
Yep.
Okay, so quickly across the board.
I don't even know their character names. I just know
Diego and something.
Diego
and El Torito and the other one.
Yeah.
The other one with the mask.
Yeah.
Okay, so across the boards, our predictions for. Are we all saying? At least I know Kevin and I think we agree Roman's going to win. You're saying?
I'm saying that they might try to do a character arc and get Big Show.
Even though he cleanly lost from Raw.
Oh, even though that's just
or is that
doing their swerve.
Great swerve, just like he did with Sting at WrestleMania.
Yeah. The
Smart
Russo
mind.
swerve.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we really needed to see the NWO versus DX.
I'm not even talking about that because it'll turn us 20 minutes off topic.
Yeah, it'll be another hour and 40-minute podcast.
Thank you if you watched that. If you watched us on that, thank you.
Next unwatchable match.
So speaking of, we were talking about Big Show as a very big company man, and he does a lot of things. This next match actually has 2 guys because one of them is going to be a big company man. Is the Kiss Me Arse match between Dolph Ziggler and the returning Sheamus.
Oh, Pirates of the Irish Caribbean?
Yeah.
Oh, shiver me bad hairdo.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
So the reason why I think, first off, Sheamus is going to lose his match because he's returning, but also they're making him have that look. He looks so stupid that it's like, we're not going to let you do this. And I feel bad for Ziggler, but he's such a company man that they're going to just do the job, and he's going to have to kiss Sheamus's white tuchus.
Yeah, so Sheamus is going to win. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion.
That's a shame.
Shameful thing. Lobster head.
This match should have just been like a chair match or something. It didn't need to be a Kiss Me Arse match. Yeah. It actually, and I was talking to Kevin outside that you and I didn't talk about this, but like they're trying to get heel heat for Sheamus. Does that Kiss Me Arse match really help him, do you think?
Yeah, no. I think what happens, it loses the direction of where they're taking his character. Because they wanted to give him a more serious sort of heel character and distance him away from the fella sort of cartoony.
What better way to distance yourself than Kiss Me Arse match?
Than a Kiss Me Arse.
With a Johnny Depp beard and a weird mohawk.
It's
fantastic.
I think they can keep him on track, just like because he's going to win the next few months. But a match like this is really not the best idea. Yeah. So does any of us see Dolph Ziggler pulling off the miracle victory and then getting beat up by Sheamus, or is it all across the board?
Not a chance.
Not this time. Even though you wish it would happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ziggy.
Yeah, you can steal the show, but you're still kissing some arse.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna have to kiss him, or do you think something's gonna happen?
Oh, knowing.
Or do you think he'll be knocked out? And maybe they embarrass him, or
knowing how many times they've knocked Ziggler down to the curb. He's kissing some arse.
Yeah.
So,
Now you can do it on air. You can do it on air.
He's getting his chapstick ready.
I think it'll be good.
Pucker up, darling.
I think they're both capable wrestlers, especially Ziggler. I think they'll have a good match, but the end result, we don't really care about, like, whoever kisses Me Arse. Like, it would have been better if it was... I thought it would have been better if it was a number one contender for the IC title match, rather. Because then at least there's something up for grabs.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those, who cares matches. Like, there's no...
That's a whole pay-per-view, basically.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Former world heavyweight champions collide, and nobody cares anymore.
But So let's add an ass in there. It's PG, it's extreme.
Yeah. No, it's arse because they can't say ass.
I know. And it's Kiss Me Arse match. So we're all predicting Sheamus to win this match. The match will be good until the end where you're like, you feel just bad for Dolph Ziggler. Good for you.
I already feel bad for Dolph Ziggler. He's a fantastic talent, and they're just burying him. It should be a buried alive match, frankly, because that's what they're trying to do to him.
He's ready. He's been ready for this the last 3 years.
Hasn't that been every match of
pretty
his?
much.
It's been a 3-year-long buried alive match with different wrestlers.
His entire career these days is that ladder match. Oh, so close. About to grab the
that
belt,
slow walk, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
John Cena overcomes.
So ladder, kid, make yourself famous.
That's one of the matches. The next match I'm going to talk about, I don't know if it's happening, but they pretty much all but confirmed it. And again, we haven't seen the final Raw before Extreme Rules. Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper. Probably going to be in some sort of table match or something because Luke keeps putting him through stuff. Do you think this is going to happen, or what do you guys think?
Possibility.
Yeah, I was thinking this is going to be a must-win, really, for Dean. Otherwise...
He needs a W,
where are they going to go with it, with his character? Because, I mean, he hasn't really won any big match in the last...
now, I'm going to counterpoint you this, right, because I was thinking, like sometimes we write storylines for them thinking, this would be good if they did this. Yeah. What if they have Dean lose all the way up until Money in the Bank when he finally wins it, and so then... They can kind of, so that you don't predict him winning because he's lost so many. Oh, he's not going to win the briefcase. That's a potential option. So in order to have that, they need him to lose against Luke Harper.
Then knowing their
long-term strategy
with writing, he'll win that, and then try to cash in and lose it. So
and it'll be in a Kiss Me Arse match. He's like, I want to win this match. You're like, what? You have the briefcase. You don't need this. So if these guys face each other, do we all think Dean should win? But do you think he will win?
I think he will.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so there might be a stipulation. If it's a stipulation, it's going to be some way he's going to get him through the table or something.
Kiss me bald spot.
I know they're competing to see who has the dirtiest tank top.
Yeah, or their stipulation should be
tank top versus tank top.
Yeah, the loser can't keep the look anymore.
Yeah.
If this match happens, we're all thinking Dean Ambrose should probably win it.
Yeah, and then Luke Harper's going to have to wear Dean Ambrose's tank top.
Yeah.
Punishment.
I wouldn't want to wear it either. Okay, so this next match, it's probably going to happen because it's a title match, but unfortunately one of the guys is potentially quite injured. They pulled him off the tour. The next match we're going to talk about is the Intercontinental Championship match, featuring the defending champion won the title at WrestleMania against the former champion, Bad News Barrett. What do you guys think about this? Because Daniel Bryan was on the European tour, right? He was European. And he was pulled off because he was injured, and they were doing a lot of tag team matches where he wasn't wrestling a lot. So he could be in a lot of trouble physically, and they might need to take some time off. Does this match happen at Extreme Rules? And if it does, do you think he wins, or do you think he loses and then goes away? What are you guys thinking?
I think I've got some bad news for you.
Okay.
I think honestly, if he is injured, they're going to go with Barrett because he had the belt. He didn't really lose it. So they still kind of have him strong enough to carry it a little bit, and then have him feud with some other people to keep it relevant.
Okay.
I think they're going to keep it on Bryan, at least for the pay-per-view, and kind of see where he is medically, like if he's cleared to go the next little while.
Yeah.
They're going to need his name value to keep the prestige, the shine that they're trying to get on.
Even if only for a few more weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And, if it is like an Edge situation where he's got to step down or hang up his boots, I think they want to do it with like a clean slate and just have him go down with the championship and leave it in abeyance, as H cubed would say.
Yeah, that's my caveat. If he's healthy, he's winning.
Absolutely.
If Bryan's able to go, they're keeping that on him. He still has as much heat as he's had in a while.
The match is, it's more, if the injuries is just something where he needs to take a little bit more easy, then they're doing the right thing by, let's just keep him for the big matches, we'll have him perform, but the other ones, let's do tag team matches or quick 1-minute matches. If he's healthy or healthy enough, he's going to retain, or like Kevin said, he's going to win, and then potentially the next night, someone's going to attack him where he's out, and then there's a title, like a tournament or something, or someone like Bray Wyatt takes him out, you know what I mean? And then the title is lingering. But if Daniel Bryan's healthy, I can't see him losing, but at the same time, if he isn't, either Bad News Barrett defeats him, or Bryan, like you said, wins, and the next night on Raw is taken out, and then there's the IC titles up for grabs.
The situation would be different because they didn't know about Edge's condition until after WrestleMania last time. They knew that he was hurt. They didn't know the extent until that morning before Raw, and that's where he gave everything up. Yeah. So that's the reason why he actually won that match. I think it was versus Chris Jericho, right?
Alberto Del Rio.
Oh no, it was Alberto Del Rio. Yeah. And I think that aggravated things quite a bit. I think he took a couple of hits on that one. So if Bryan isn't healthy, I say he loses that night.
If it's just to go away for a few months, I think the smart idea is to have him win, but then to make Barrett look good, or another guy, have him be so hurt afterwards that night or the next night in Raw, someone to showcase someone new as a villain, like a Sheamus, you have him take him out. I think it's actually a great move for Bray or Sheamus. If Bryan has to take some time off, not retire, I think have him win the match, but then get beaten up by the newest heel guy who needs some heat. But yeah, so if Bryan's healthy, I think we're all predicting Daniel winning. Yep. If not, you and I think he'll retain, and you think he won't, and Bad News will be the...
No, I think if he's not healthy, that Barrett will take it.
Yeah, but otherwise...
I think D-Bry has this. But they could also do the swerve with the Authority coming in and then starting a new match and then getting the heat like that.
And I was talking to Kevin on our audio podcast, potentially they could also just add people into the match. Yep. So any of the contestants from the ladder match at WrestleMania or whoever can be added in. They can swerve and go like, okay, well, they don't want Bad News to be the champion, but maybe they want someone else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's an option.
Some NXT guys. Throw Sami Zayn in that mix.
Hey, Neville, or as I like to call him, Adrian Neville, is best for business. He's excellent.
I'll say this. Did they have this moniker in NXT where they called him the Man Gravity Forgot?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I'll say that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And
I want them to give him his first name back. He's earned it. He deserves it.
They're all about having one name.
Oh, Adrian, you need your name.
Yeah,
I don't like the Neville. I like Adrian Neville. Makes sense.
It's still better than his indie name, Pac.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Now, before we get off topic, so there's a lot of these cards where it's not for grabs. We don't know what's actually going to happen. Miz versus Sandow might happen. There could be a pre-show match. There's also no tag team match. At some point on the pre-show or the pay-per-view, there's going to be a tag team match. Yeah. It always happens, whether good or bad. Either the tag team titles are going to be defended and they face maybe Los Matadores, or maybe Ascension faces primetime players, or do you think the New Day...
Lucha!
New Day could face Lucha, and that could be the beginning.
They're
pretty good.
Love me some Kalisto and Sin Cara V2.
Oh, Kalisto is amazing. That guy can fly.
I was just talking to Kevin, even though some of the spots were the same, it was still quite exciting. I've never watched NXT, so you guys know what to expect. But I think a paying audience at Extreme Rules, that could be a highlight to steal the show. Just because. So why not put on a tag team match that, hey guys, you have 15 minutes. Yep. You got to give it make them put you on.
You get the energy in the crowd. My thought on a tag team match for the titles is ABA, anybody but Ascension. They are awful. The Losers of Doom, as I've been calling them for the last few weeks. They are horrible.
The new LOD, Losers of Doom.
Yeah. Just pure pathetic. Sorry, guys. You're probably good dudes. You've got good...
You probably give to charity.
You probably had good looks. Woo! But... Wow, you guys are
because I don't watch NXT, but I think they were doing good in NXT, right?
Yeah,
they were
okay. They were doing great in NXT. They were a pretty dominant tag team until the Lucha Dragons came and knocked them off.
Yeah.
It didn't work on the main card though, unfortunately. So far, maybe they surprise us in a year from now.
I can't remember who they beat for the titles. It might have actually been Adrian Neville and...
Is it Zayn?
No, who was his tag team partner? I can't remember who his tag team partner was. It was one of those NXT guys.
It'll come to us eventually.
Again, NXT talk. We're here for Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been an announced pre-show. Do you think maybe a tag team match or a Neville match takes place there? I don't think.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I think. So what would you guys
I'd like a Neville match.
But I don't think it would be a pre-show match because I don't think.
But no, he's not meant to be pre-show. He's meant to be
Maybe
lower
Primetime
mid-card
Players
stuff.
Ascension could be a pre-show match.
Yeah.
They've been hyping this feud up a little bit for 3 weeks.
My thought on the having Neville, I mean, he has to have an opponent that will make him look like $1,000. Like, he can do all the flippy stuff he wants, but
the wrong guy.
Yeah, having somebody who doesn't know how to take, say, like a 580 splash off of the barricade, like, which I am still amazed that even happened.
Like him versus Roman, I don't think right now would be a good match.
No.
In 2 years, it'd probably be an amazing match.
Yeah.
Like the styles,
Funny enough, Roman's not ready for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. One
can do
guy's like
big man
main event to
matches.
WrestleMania,
He
the guy's
had,
like, whoa.
Like, he had a great match against Kevin Owens a couple months ago.
Kevin Owens is excellent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
My old roommate name was Kevin Owen, so I always go, oh, Kevin Owen, how are you doing, buddy? But yeah, no, I've heard great things about these guys, but...
But yes, we're talking.
Yeah, we could do our own NXT podcast because it's better than Raw most nights.
Hideo Tommy.
And I will now leave you. No, but yeah, pre-show is hard because like this whole pay-per-view, everything's been thrown together. So I'm not going to be surprised when we get a tag team match. Or
Neville could be thrown into any of these matches except for the world title.
Or Divas.
You never know. He could climb that cage.
Hey, he could be a special guest enforcer for
That's
the
very
Divas.
true, yeah.
The man Gravity forgot. Maybe he doesn't know if he's
Yeah.
But yeah, so we don't know if there's a pre-show match or a tag team title match.
Yeah.
I don't foresee if there is a tag team title match. I don't foresee them losing yet, Cesaro and Kid.
No.
Maybe we get New Day versus the Luchas, and then Luchas win, and then New Day continue building towards their heel turn.
There's no clear
direction.
number one contender for the tag team championship.
Now, do you think originally they were probably planning Cesaro versus Kid versus the Usos until they were injured as this match as a final Uso match before they moved on to a new team?
I think they're building up kind of a storyline for the New Day. So I think they're.
Sorry.
If you don't clap, I snap.
Clap or snap. Hashtag.
They're the only ones that I can think of that would make sense because. They don't have any story for Los Matadores.
And that's why it's
Usos
probably going to be them. They're like,
Yeah.
you guys don't have a match. You're facing the tag team champs. What?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
I'm excited they're building a tag team division.
Yeah, me too.
They're trying to.
Me too.
Keyword.
Hey, they're building it. It's not built yet, but they're trying to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think I would be very surprised if anybody but New Day were to win, say like a tag team. I think they would have a great match with
Cesaro Kid?
Yeah, down the road. I don't know if they're going to do a championship match.
I think it's more next month.
Yeah.
If they turn heels, I think.
If they do like a number one contender match or whatever against, I don't know, Lucha Dragons or something like that.
Or Los Matadores even. Or Ascension or Primetime Players. They got a couple teams.
Primetime Players maybe because they've been trash talking.
But they've been trash talking mostly the Ascension, your LOD.
Yeah.
But the losers are doomed. But yeah, so I think we're gonna get a tag team match. I don't know what will happen, but I can't see the tag team titles changing. But at the same time, if the Lucha guys are in there a non-title match, I can't see them losing either.
Hey, the Ascension are still better than Darren Young's new facial hair because that is just atrocious. Darren, get yourself a razor, big guy.
Don't be a bully. Be a star.
And if it does wind up being New Day, which combination? Do you see Kofi and...
Well, it's going to be Kofi for sure because he's their best all-around performer.
That is true.
And I think Xavier hasn't been kind of injured a few months ago.
Yeah, you probably better with some muscle with Big E.
So I think you need the muscle and the fast guy. So I think it's going to be Big E and Kofi if it even happens. Kind of.
I really like Xavier Woods. I think he's when he's healthy, he's really fun to watch. But they just haven't really given him the screen time to really kind of show, what he's capable of.
I think they had an idea what New Day was. It just didn't connect with the fans, and then it was kind of like, are they like gospel? Are they Power Rangers? I don't know. And then now they're like, well, the fans don't want to cheer them, and I think being heels is perfect for them because it was that it could be the new the Nation Domination part too.
Which also it's not out of the question that they're all tag champs because they did that with Spirit Squad. Where
they really did.
It was just two of them, a young Dolph. But yeah, they just had all five of them were tag champs. So.
I thought that around the time there wasn't that many teams either, so I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah,
funny enough, that's Dolph's real name.
Oh yeah, it is
nickname. But okay, so now let's talk about the two main events of the evening. Mm-hmm. We'll start with the United States champion fighting for America versus the man fighting for Russia. Rusev in a Russian chain match. How are you guys feeling about this match?
I think it's going to be a lot heavier than a U.S. chain. Because things in Russia are just built to last.
Look at that tank.
It's going to be soaked with vodka as well.
Jeez. Vodka
and tears of the people.
Yeah. It's going to be covered in an iron curtain, and it's just, oh, man.
Yeah, so the match is John Cena versus Rusev in a Russian chain match. How do you guys truly feel about that?
I really think that it would be silly to have Rusev lose, but they can't have John Cena lose. So
John Cena has to at some point overcome, right?
Yeah. John Cena's going to win. It's probably going to be via some sort of disqualification, maybe like the match has to stop or something happen.
I'll interrupt you and say a match like with like stipulations like a chain match. I don't think you can end on a non-finish.
I know you can't really do.
I think you need to finish. Like either maybe he gets knocked, they both get knocked out would be different.
Yeah.
And then they go to the next pay-per-view, but you can't fully do a non-finish. I think.
Yeah, and that's the problem because I mean, somebody's gonna have to get pinned. It's not gonna be Cena, and it doesn't make sense to have such like almost like a 2-year winning streak and then have Rusev lose two.
There is the element of Lana where she could screw Rusev, and it's kind of that.
Yeah.
So then it justifies Rusev not being ready for that, and so he didn't cleanly lose. He got slapped or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
So do we even have the rules for a Russian chain match? Is there a pin? Is it going to be on a pole?
Or it might be because I think it's going to be like the bowl match, where we were saying like the Savio Vega one, where I think it might be either a
like
pinfall,
just tied to a chain.
Like where you're tied
That
to a
would be
chain.
hilarious.
Yeah. Like so, it's either a match or it's like you got to touch all 4 turnbuckles or knock the guy out with a chain. I guess.
What I'd like to see is they just have like a chain around their waist and like a length of chain where like they can't quite reach each other, so it's just like 5 minutes of them trying to claw at each other, and they just both give up and go to the back.
Yeah.
Oh, an episode of Smackdown.
But yeah, so I personally think John Cena is going to retain the title of this pay-per-view. What do you haven't heard your thoughts too much on it? What do you think?
You're probably right. John Cena will probably, I would say,
rise above hate.
No, I'm gonna say if there is a DQ, I don't even think there is a DQ.
No,
I'm thinking that Lana's gonna have some shenanigans involved.
But John Cena's not going to lose the title. He's going to continue his invitational.
I think there might be a no finish.
Yeah.
I might think there would be a no finish. Everybody gets knocked out, including the ref. Done.
And Lana, she like hits everyone and she falls over.
No, it's just her above everybody's fallen bodies going, no, Rusev, you're supposed to crash. What's going on?
No crash.
I think John Cena is going to win this match. I think
probably will.
He's going to retain the title because he's got to defend the U.S. title in the Invitational Tournament on Raw and SmackDown.
Against Kurt Angle eventually.
I'm calling it right now.
In a year from now. Yeah.
It's John Cena via too much money.
Yeah.
There's too much money behind John Cena for him to lose.
Yeah, he's the poster boy for the U.S. Championship. He is not going to lose, so Cena wins law.
You got to sell those U.S. title T-shirts. You know, the champ is here.
I like if someone gave me that, I'd wear it. You know, but yeah. So
you're a braver man than I, sir.
So I don't think any of us are seeing Rusev basically leaving as champ.
No.
We all agree with that. Okay.
Agreed.
So now let's move on to the main event, which was also a match at WrestleMania. So Seth Rollins and Randy Orton.
Different.
It's different because one of them is now the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins versus the Viper Randy Orton. In a stipulation versus stipulation match, Randy Orton picked the steel cage, and Seth Rollins countered that with a no RKO rule.
What do you mean no RKO?
It's real to me, damn it. In the podcast version, I had talked to Kevin, and I was asking him, do you think with the no RKO thing, does that mean just for Orton, or do you think Seth Rollins can use it because potentially Seth Rollins could win the match by RKOing Randy Orton?
I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot of field goals being kicked that night.
Oh, there's a punt in the store?
I think that if that's to happen, he's going to wind up for it, miss it, and then curb stomp. Seth Rollins retains. There's no way after beating Brock. No.
Yeah, I think they're in for a couple months or a year-long title reign.
I'd say a couple of months easily.
My prediction, as we went over in the audio version, we have a glaring omission in this pay-per-view, and that is of Bray Wyatt, who has a knack for inserting himself into cage matches.
You stole my thing. I was like, it's a cage match. He's inserted himself in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And cheers coming around.
So I mean, what I think happens is, maybe the punt happens. Orton's about to climb up, down from the bottom. He grabs the ankle, comes up.
Little noise.
And then maybe Sister Abigail against the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Rollins, slithers out the door. That's my prediction.
Slimy slithering Seth Rollins, who's going to retain.
And then you have an opponent for Randy Orton in the next coming months.
Seth Rollins is a brilliant heel champion. He not since Edge has there been a better worker / most beatable world heavyweight champion. And the great thing with that is that you're always like, oh, this guy's going to get him, this guy's going to hurt him, and then he just slithers out via some J&J security.
Yeah, like J&J security, Kane, they've been building the story, so maybe they think he's going to turn on him, but he doesn't. But Rollins has been constantly, for the last 6 months to a year or more, been giving quality match after quality match on pay-per-views and Raws. On Raws, he does it, and somehow they almost beat him, but they don't. Yeah. On the pay-per-view, he's going to deliver no matter what. He's delivering like match of the night, usually like potentials. Yeah. You know?
Hey, even Neville made him look human. And he's meant to be the rookie coming out of NXT.
Yeah. And I mean, with that, I mean, like, because Neville pushed him to the limit, but Rollins still came out with. I don't think there was any shenanigans.
There was not at all.
So that was a clean win. So you got a great combination of clean wins, and then he's got his cowardly heel. You know, like the running away, the cheating, so it shows that he has the ability to retain and to be like a winning fighting champion, but then he also will take those heel shortcuts.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's like you said, a very Edge approach and nice example of a beatable champion.
And he's not afraid to take that springboard RKO and just take that pin.
Now that you've said that on the audio podcast, I had mentioned that their match at WrestleMania was good, but it was a moment in that match that was great. So now they have a chance. They're given the main event at this pay-per-view. Go and steal the show, even though it's the main event. Yeah. I think they have to put on this amazing match because Seth Rollins can go. Randy Orton is so methodical that sometimes it's a negative because it slows down the pace. I think they're gonna put on a great match. I hope so.
Randy Orton has another gear that I don't think we've seen yet.
Yeah, and I hope to see it.
I've seen glimmers of him just brilliant, but he sometimes feels disconnected.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with...
Also, Randy, because this week, actually, I read today a story that Randy, these fans at the airport were waiting for the returning superstars from Europe, and he berated all the fans for wanting to, we want to go home. And so it's like, he's supposed to be a face. When he's a villain, I get that.
Yeah.
So they got to watch out.
Randy never a face. Let's just be honest.
He's
the only guy John Cena ever called any type of bad word.
Yeah, and I think... the thing is, he's so...
We're not going to say it.
Yeah. He's so good at being a heel, and you can see he enjoys being a heel. To the point where, like, when they have him and he's not really face at this point. He's sort of like in between.
It's that in between.
He's got a Stone Cold type of old.
Yeah.
But
before he became.
Unfortunately, his promos aren't the best.
No.
And when he goes for wrestlocks, that kills the matches. But if he goes into high gear on Sunday in a cage match, and with the storytelling with the feud, if they tell the story right, we could have a match of the year potential. Yeah. I hope to see that. I don't know if we get that. I hope we do. But I'm going to go to the question I asked you on the podcast. And I'm going to ask both of you, and myself included, with like stuff like I'm a big NBA fan and all that, and the playoffs are right now. Are you guys going to even watch Extreme Rules live on Sunday night? After talking about it, I love how I have to ask this question and know that the answer probably might not be yes.
Pass.
Well, with the NBA playoffs, and since I'm not a football fan, I'm making a joke.
Yeah, I know you are. Some of them...
Yeah. So
it doesn't translate on YouTube.
No, not as much. I'm going to watch it just because I'm not really going to have anything to do Sunday night.
You got to have something to do with your ice cream, you know? Like you can't eat the ice cream by yourself. You need to have something to enjoy, too.
I'm basically... I'm going to sit at home, eat ice cream, and maybe have a beer and watch, That's what I'm going to... I'm not... going to be sad if I miss it, but I'm probably going to have it on the background.
If anything, I'll just watch NXT on the network.
Yeah.
Wow. Who were selling this
highlights.
I think it's one of those, because I'm a big NBA fan, and there's usually going to be 2 games that night.
Yeah.
I'll switch between, and if I hear something's great, I'll watch it. Or what I might do is I might watch it depending what time I work the next day. I might watch it, skim through it at midnight,
Yeah, I've done that a bunch.
But I think we owe it to ourselves, because we do this show and stuff like that. I think we're all gonna deep down watch clips or moments of it,
Yeah, we'll definitely watch pieces of it. I don't see anybody watching all of every match.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Well, minus the pre-show thing. Take away what he just said.
Oh no,
there.
pre-show caveat.
No, but
pre-show.
Just the match on the pre-show. I'm not gonna actually watch.
I'll give you a full $1 if you watch everything.
I thought you were gonna say like $10. $10, not worth it. Doesn't even buy ice cream for this guy.
No.
But yeah, no. So, are you guys gonna watch? Are you guys gonna watch Extreme Rules? What match are you looking forward to? What do you think that is going good or bad right now? You can tweet at us at
Vintage Podcast, and if you wanted to tweet us some questions to ask Neil to get to know him in our next week's podcast.
We still don't know who this guy is. We found him on the sidewalk. He's like, I like wrestling. You're like, come on down.
Yeah,
I was wearing a collared shirt. I thought they could trust me.
We were finding out. Maybe we cannot.
So I think we're gonna have some good upcoming podcasts. Maybe have a few less review shows. Maybe just more shooting the breeze about wrestling.
Think Legends of Wrestling without legends.
Yeah. Legends of
it's just a show.
Fans.
It's just a show on YouTube. and also keep in mind that we do. Neil hasn't done it yet, but we do a video version on YouTube like this, and we also have a longer audio version on iTunes. So feel free to listen, or you can watch us. But we hope you guys, if you do watch, you have an extremely good time watching Extreme Rules on pay-per-view or the WWE Network for free if you haven't subscribed yet, because it's free for users who haven't bought a
That's right.
account yet.
And we might actually answer questions down in the comments. So if you got something good, put it down.
Yeah.
And I'd say you could tweet at Neil on his own account. He doesn't have a Twitter account.
I'll get one. I said I'd get one.
Just put hashtag Neil in the.
What did you guys think of hashtag Neil? That's your nickname, hashtag Neil. But
fantastic. Not a nickname. That's actually my name.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Neil.
Hashtag Neil Macintosh. But yeah, no, Neil, thank you for joining us. If you guys enjoyed him being a part of the show, you may want to watch next week. We're going to talk a little bit more about wrestling, as you're saying, but we're also going to occasionally talk with you about MMA and boxing and stuff like that.
Yep.
We got a big couple of cards coming up, so next time we're going to talk about that. And we're actually probably going to mention next week, we might start talking about people like AJ retiring from wrestling. So got any opinions on that, feed it to us, and
let us know. And again, we are Vintage Podcast at Kevin Heron.
At the Lindsay Lewis.
I'll get one.
At Vintage Podcast. Hashtag Neil.
There you
Hashtag
go.
Neil.
Give the video a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Come on. Thumbs up.
Thank you for watching and listening. And stay extreme.
Stay classy.
Extreme.
What happened at Curtis Axel? What happened to that, guys? We end with that.
Feed God, that push had a family.
That camera had a family.